Hello, 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 hello. Man, it's been a while since I did a live stream. If you are watching on the live stream, would you take a moment, just say hello in the comments? I know more and more that the live streaming is not jumping people into the comments, but it's good to know who's listening, who's watching, and I appreciate anyone who comments. Hey, I wanted to share a few things. I'm on LinkedIn every day. I'm following different companies in automotive retail. And lately, I've been coaching over 100 dealership leaders on some new ways to think about their websites and their CTAs and how to convert people. And some of these dealers are new with working with me the first time. And so other questions come up. And I just wanted to share that I think this year more than ever, dealers are more confused on what's really working with CDPs or marketing automation or with the AI tools that are being promoted on the marketplace. If you're a dealer and you can honestly say, Brian, I'm having a hard time really cutting through the noise and deciding which AI platform I should use, what are the risks, or I'm not really sure which CDP or pseudo CDP I should be investing in. If that's you, just put a little comment in and say, hey, Brian, I could use some advice. I see some people already are commenting. Let me just share a few things. There are a lot of great voices that are sharing ideas online. I think of Todd Smith and his company trying to help dealers make sense of first-party data management. We have Atul Patel with Orbi. We have Aaron Horowitz and his team with FullPath. You have just dealership leaders that are talking about their CDP experience, Scott Weideman and his experience with Client Command, Jim Kazubuki at Morgan Auto Group with their experience with Telium. We have the Mergato Auto Group moving forward with Impel and Four Eyes. There's a lot of people who are stepping out and trying to make sense of the best way to manage their first-party data. But the truth of the matter is it's hard to really know what's working. There hasn't been enough really verifiable case studies on what's the ROI of a CDP, for example. And you've seen some of the interviews that I've done with Brad Teitel and what he's doing with his integration of FullPath with Reynolds Focus CRM with a unique wrapper called Curator. Where should dealers be placing their money? Is anybody in that same place? We have great companies like Force Marketing or integrated data platforms with websites, with Team Velocity and Apollo. Who's really delivering the best results? And the truth is that everyone has an angle. Dealers sometimes don't even believe the testimonials of other dealers because, obviously they may be new or excited, but what's the reference coming from? Is it from meaningful results or a 1 or 2 month improvement? We've been talking about website optimization and CTAs, and there's a renewed interest in streamlining the software stack. I mean, recently, one of the dealer groups I'm working with just was confused on why their websites were so slow, when they weren't converting. And man, we've removed over 46 GTM containers, just over 16 websites, about 3 GTM containers per site. And the reason why I bring this up is because it's the same thing with AI. Every day, someone's coming out with, I got an AI chat, I got an AI marketing, I got an AI workflow. And the real question is how do we measure success? So I want to share with you that this is my 20th year of working in automotive retail. We need more voices, not just me or Todd or a few other people who are talking about data management or AI. Gray Scott's been talking about AI. Some dealers have been talking about the results of first-party data management. I think of the Rohrman organization and Orange Media. But we need more voices that are talking about real results, not paid propaganda, but, what's the facts? How long does it take? How are we measuring success? And the reason why I bring these things up, and I'm just looking at some more of the comments, is that at the upcoming Modern Retailing Conference in Palm Beach, November 16th, 17th, 18th, I'm going to be bringing some first-to-market research that can help dealers with some of these critical decisions. Let's say that AI, when used properly, will fill the gaps in automotive retail process for sure, will save dealers time out of tedium trying to compile answers or insights. But we're still in the early stages of knowing how much money or how much time or how valuable these tools will be in the long run. So at the Modern Retailing Conference, I'm going to be bringing some first-to-market research on the AI voice-assisted platforms. There's, I think, 8 or 10 different companies that are telling dealers they can answer their phone calls more efficiently than humans, actually now place outbound phone calls for declined service, for recalls, and to provide better customer service. I mean, I think of how many years Cassie has educated us from Car Wars, or the team at Call Review talking about how many calls never get connected. And yes, it sounds great, but who's really put a long-term study, 6 months, 9 months, a year, who's really taken the time to document before and after results? So I'm going to be bringing the voice of the dealer to MRC. I'm going to be talking to customers of the current platforms that they believe is working and why they switched off of other platforms. I'm just going to bring that data together to help educate so dealers can have a more thoughtful discussion with their next AI voice partner. I'm going to be doing the same thing when we're talking about website optimization. What can we do collectively as an industry to help improve conversion rates? I mean, it's amazing today that we still see websites that have 2 trade tools with different values, 2 digital retailing tools that are providing 2 different values. We see 6, 8 CTA buttons on a particular car, and yet we wonder why consumers feel it's frustrating. I'm going to be bringing first-to-market research on insights from the website conversion optimization study. I'm going to be talking about CTA design and measurement. And for the first time, we're going to have a pretty large cohort of dealers who have realized that they never were recording all the conversions on their website. They never knew how to hold their vendors accountable. And for the first time, we're going to see in 2026 a whole group of automotive leaders who have gone through this 90-day course improve their website conversion. And we should have a lot to talk about at the Digital Marketing Strategies Conference in April in Scottsdale. The reason why I'm bringing it up is that I want MRC to be a time we can really reveal facts and separate fact from fiction, meaning I'm telling all our speakers, don't just say your product has AI. Don't say AI is wonderful. If anybody gets up and says, hey, by the way, there's something called AI, I'll throw them off the stage. What dealers need to know is, how have you done a controlled study to see the improvements of AI? What are the risks today? You know, that's one of the things with the CDP and AI that I'm concerned about. David Steinberg from 4Eyes has been writing about this, but for years, dealers have been primarily using the CRM for email and texting and phone calls. But today, with the CDP as a unified data source outside of the CRM, And the fact that there's multiple companies who are selling dealer services to text, email, or even voice call their customers off the CDP data, separate from the CRM. What happens when customers who've opted out in the CRM are being contacted by these third-party tools that are not referencing a centralized permission-based control center? That's what David Steinberg is proposing, and we're going to be talking about that at MRC. Dealers need to think about the risks. Have there been lawsuits filed already? Absolutely, I've seen them. Why? Because the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. When texting is happening outside the CRM, well, there better be a new standard for centralized permission-based communication. This is why the Modern Retailing Conference isn't a hash up of old things. It's really a thoughtful conversation of what do we need to do to bring our dealerships up to the next level. It's a thoughtful curation of content about what's coming next. One of the things I am proud about is our conference has led the way in change management for a number of years on a number of topics. And we're going to continue to do that. The fact that in 2025, dealers have dozens of GTM containers with unknown code that's still siphoning data off their websites and they have no clue how to inspect it is a shame. It's a shame that dealers want more leads and conversion from their marketing partners, but they have never been trained on how to inspect if measurements in place. And it's a shame that dealers think that bolting on AI without changing training, process, scripting, and workflows is going to make things any easier, but that's what's happening. And it's also a shame that someone says, hey, I got a CDP, but never asked the questions about what's my data hygiene look like, how often are my data being updated, and from what sources, and how do we test if the data updates are correct. Yes, I have a CDP, but who's controlling the cadence of communication? At the Modern Retailing Conference, I hope to bring industry experts together with technology leaders and dealer principals and marketing managers, operation leader, to have a more thoughtful conversation because it's kind of confusing out there. Yes, I do spend a lot of time helping dealers pick the right software for their use cases. And I do spend time helping vendors improve their measurement and KPIs and effectiveness of their software. And of course, we're still out there helping dealers in the field. My brother Glenn's helping people with sales process and implement AI solutions. But there's not enough of Glenn's and other people who are going out, Gary May and others. Mark McGurran, who's been out helping dealers for many years, is now full-time working with the Keating Automotive Group. Great acquisition, Ben Keating. But we need more people who are out there just independently helping dealers improve process, leverage technology, clean up their data, activate their data. But we also need some more open conversations of what's working. One of the challenges for 2026 is for the CDP companies is, are you willing to actually publish multiple examples of the ROI, real meaningful ROI of a CDP? And the same thing with the AI companies. Are you really going to be able to publish a credible return on investment based on a control group of data? Or are you just going to pick one store for a 30-day period of a lift of a short-term gain? That's why I want to move the industry forward at our conferences in 2026 to have more transparency, more thoughtful communication, and then help us move the industry together, like David Steinberg is trying to do with a centralized permission communication platform, and what I've done with the Automotive Standards Council to move the industry forward with a single measurement. So I want to encourage dealers who are listening in, mark your calendars, November 16th, 17th, and 18th, and come out to Palm Beach for a meaningful, thoughtful, progressive conference. I just want to let you know that tickets are limited. We have backup hotels. Some of the days at the O are now sold out. I've told everyone for months, but we have 2 or 3 great local hotels that are within a mile or two of the O. Get your tickets be at this conference. If you're interested in AI, if you're interested in CDP, if you're interested in new ways to improve your sales process, if you're trying to figure out how to engage customers better on your website and convert more traffic into leads, these are just some of the topics, but also how do we create awesome reporting? If you have a CDP, Jim Kazubuki is going to be doing that. What are some practical applications of AI? Gray Scott's going to be talking about that. How to use defection data to improve your sales process and create a better sales experience. My brother Glenn's going to be talking about that. I just want to encourage you to look at the agenda, modernretailingconference.com, packed with great information. And then in the evenings, you can feel free to have dinner with your vendor partners, with members of your peer group. It's a great experience. And when the conference is over, we have a golf tournament and a pickleball tournament and a few other surprises. I'll be doing the pickleball. I think my brother Glenn will be doing the golf. Don't miss this year's 2025 Modern Retailing Conference. I want it to be a place where dealers can learn, get clarity, get peer advice, and just a more honest dialogue with their vendor partners and community members to help improve the retailing experience. That's our goal at the Modern Retailing Conference. So if you're a vendor and you would like to participate, Allied Industry tickets are closed. They close September 1st, but there are a few sponsorship spots available. You can just email me, brian@brianpash.com, if you would want to be a sponsor. Otherwise, I think I've said what I wanted to say. It's time to get some clarity on AI, on data management, on new sales process, and what we can do to improve the overall retail experience in sales and service. That's the Modern Retailing Conference. I hope to see you this November 16th, 17th, and 18th at the beautiful O Resort in Palm Beach, Florida. Thanks for your time.